What if our history books are incomplete? What if the greatest civilizations didn't crumble to dust, but sank beneath the waves? Imagine entire cities, magnificent temples, and profound secrets, hidden for millennia, guarded by the ocean itself. For generations, we've looked up at the stars, wondering what mysteries lie beyond our atmosphere. But what if the most astonishing truths about our past are not in the heavens above, but in the dark, silent depths below? Close your eyes for a moment. Picture it. Grand structures adorned with intricate ancient symbols, eerily preserved by the cold embrace of the deep sea. Imagine colossal stone blocks perfectly cut and placed, now home to vibrant marine life, yet still whispering tales of human ingenuity. These aren't just fantastic legends whispered by sailors of old. They're real, tangible, captivating ruins that stand as silent testaments to advanced societies, lost to time, but not to memory. We're talking about places where history didn't just fade away. It was swallowed whole, leaving behind an underwater museum of forgotten legacies. Today, we embark on an unparalleled expedition. We're not just exploring shipwrecks, though their stories are compelling. No, we're diving much, much deeper. We're tracing the outlines of entire forgotten civilizations, piecing together astonishing stories from beneath the waves that will challenge everything you thought you knew about human history. From the controversial megaliths of Japan to the ancient cities of the Mediterranean and beyond, get ready to witness discoveries that promise to redefine our understanding of the past. Prepare to unlock the stunning visual evidence of unseen underwater civilizations. Welcome to a journey into the submerged worlds. Our journey now takes us beyond the provoking questions of our introduction and into the heart of the matter, the actual lost worlds themselves. We begin not with myth, but with a monumental mystery. We travel to the far reaches of the globe, to the deep, blue waters off the coast of Japan, where a structure of unbelievable scale and precision rests on the seabed. This is the Yonaguni Monument, a breathtaking, submerged pyramid-like formation that has baffled scientists and archaeologists for decades. As you look at it, the first question is immediate and unavoidable. Was it carved by the hands of a forgotten civilization, or is it simply a spectacular but natural geological wonder? From a distance, it looks like a mountain, but as we get closer, its features become unnervingly perfect. See these colossal flat surfaces, these sharp 90-degree angles? What about these massive straight-edged terraces that look like they were designed for a giant staircase? For those who believe it's man-made, these features are undeniable proof. They point to an advanced society from a time we thought was technologically primitive. They argue that natural processes couldn't possibly create something so symmetrical, so perfectly aligned with ancient astronomical sites on land. But the skeptics have a compelling case too. Geologists argue that the structure is an example of what they call pareidolia, the human tendency to see familiar shapes like stairs and pyramids in random patterns. They explain that the unique properties of the local sandstone, combined with tectonic forces and erosion from crashing waves over millennia, could have chiseled these seemingly perfect angles and flat surfaces. They point out that there's no clear evidence of tools or markings. The debate rages on, with new sonar scans and diving expeditions only adding to the evidence for both sides. Whatever the truth, the Yonaguni Monument forces us to confront a humbling possibility, that our understanding of ancient history may be fundamentally incomplete. Now we journey to a place where the mystery is not about if it's a city, but how it vanished so completely. We sail to the southern coast of Greece, to a site known as Pavlopetri. This is not a single ruin. This is an entire submerged city, remarkably preserved and offering a pristine window into the Bronze Age. Discovered in 1967, Pavlopetri is the oldest known submerged city on Earth, and its layout is so complete that we can still see a full city plan from over 5,000 years ago. Using cutting-edge underwater technology like multi-beam sonar, archaeologists have mapped its every detail. They've gone beyond simply observing ruins. They've created a digital replica of the entire city. We can see the streets, the courtyards, the houses, and even the tombs, all laid out with astonishing clarity. The city's structure tells us a lot about the lives of its inhabitants, a prosperous trading hub that thrived for 1,000 years. But then, it disappeared. The most likely cause? A sudden, catastrophic earthquake, followed by a shift in the land, submerging the entire city in an instant. It's a powerful, silent testimony to the sudden and devastating power of nature. Pavlo Petri shows us that the lives of ancient people weren't so different from ours. They had cities, they had trade routes, and they had homes, and they faced the same unpredictable forces of the planet that we do today. This site is not a question. It is a lesson. Our final destination takes us from scientific certainty to the convergence of history and legend. We journey to the shores of Western India, to the mythical city of Dwarka. According to ancient Hindu scriptures, this was the home of the Hindu god Krishna, a city so magnificent it was built by a divine architect and was eventually swallowed by the sea after Krishna's departure. For centuries, it was believed to be just that, a beautiful but unfounded legend. But in 2001, a team of archaeologists announced a discovery that changed everything. Using sonar imaging, they found a massive, grid-like structure deep under the Gulf of Khambhat. These were not random rock formations. They were walls, streets, and foundations, spanning an incredible 9 kilometers. Subsequent dives revealed ancient artifacts, pottery, and even human-made pillars, some dating back as far as 9,500 years, a discovery that would push back the timeline of advanced urban civilization in the region by thousands of years. While the findings are still heavily debated, the implications are staggering. If Dwarka proves to be the legendary city, it would be the ultimate proof that myths often hold a grain of truth, and that our ancestors possessed knowledge and technology far beyond what we give them credit for. These 3 sites, from the mystery of Yonaguni to the certainty of Pavlo Petri and the legend of Dwarka, are just the beginning. They are the keys to a forgotten past, a past that lies waiting, silent and still beneath the waves. So we've explored these incredible lost worlds. We've seen the haunting symmetry of the Yonaguni monument, the remarkably preserved streets of Pavlo Petri, and the legendary foundations of Dwarka. The natural next question is, why? Why did these magnificent human achievements end up at the bottom of the ocean? The answer lies in the dynamic and often violent nature of our planet. The processes that led to these cities' demise are as old as the Earth itself, and they can be broadly divided into 2 main categories: geological shifts and the dramatic, often slow, rise of sea levels. For thousands of years, the world was a very different place. Massive ice sheets, a legacy of the last ice age, held vast amounts of the planet's water. This meant that sea levels were hundreds of feet lower than they are today. Coastlines we now know were far out to sea, and many cities like Dwarka were built on what was once dry land. But as the planet began to warm, these glaciers melted. The result was a slow but relentless rise in ocean levels, a process that continues even now. Over generations, coastal communities found their harbors shrinking, their lowlands becoming swamps, until eventually their entire cities were submerged. Pavlo Petri is a powerful example, likely suffering from both this sea level rise and a catastrophic earthquake. The land it was built on may have also shifted downwards, sealing its fate. These aren't just natural phenomena from the past. They are a stark reminder of our own planet's instability and the long-term consequences of a changing climate. Of course, finding these sites is only half the battle. Exploring them and understanding them requires a new kind of archaeology, one that works in a dark, cold, and often dangerous environment. This is where modern technology comes in, revolutionizing our ability to see and study these submerged worlds. We rely on tools that can see through the ocean's murk. The first is multi-beam sonar. Imagine sweeping a flashlight beam across the seabed, but instead of light, it's thousands of sound pulses. By measuring how long it takes for these sound waves to bounce back, we can create incredibly detailed, high-resolution 3D maps of the ocean floor, revealing structures, streets, and artifacts that have been hidden for millennia. This technology allows us to find and map entire cities without ever sending a diver down. Once a site is located, that's when we deploy our robotic assistants. Autonomous underwater vehicles, or AUVs, are like underwater drones. We program them with a mission, and they can navigate independently, collecting data, taking high-resolution photos, and even gathering samples. They can work in depths and conditions that are too dangerous for humans. For more delicate work, we use remotely operated vehicles, or ROVs. These are tethered robots, controlled by a pilot on a ship, allowing for precise, real-time exploration. They can pick up delicate artifacts, survey fragile structures, and provide a live video feed, giving us a virtual window into these lost worlds. Finally, how do we make sense of what we find? How do we know how old these sites are, and what they tell us about the people who built them? Dating these sites requires a combination of techniques. We use radiocarbon dating on organic materials like wood or bone found at the site. We also use artifact analysis, identifying pottery styles, tool types, and architectural techniques to place the city within a known historical period. But doing this underwater presents unique challenges. The ocean is a powerful preservation tool, but it can also be a destructive one. Artifacts can be encased in sediment or covered in marine life. The cold, dark environment helps preserve organic materials, but the pressure and salt water can also corrode metals and weaken structures. The work of these underwater archaeologists is a race against time, not just against the elements, but against our own lack of knowledge. Each discovery, each artifact, and each mapped street gives us a new piece of the puzzle, teaching us not only about our forgotten past, but also about the incredible resilience of human civilization. These aren't just underwater ruins. They are a testament to our history, a warning for our future, and a challenge to continue exploring the world that lies beneath the waves. For all the incredible scientific evidence we've seen, from the geological shifts that swallowed cities to the sonar technology that finds them, there remains a deeper, more enduring mystery that captivates our imagination. It's a story whispered through the ages, a legend that has inspired countless books, films, and expeditions. Of course, I'm talking about Atlantis, the lost continent, the perfect civilization, the city of rings and gold that was swallowed by the sea in a single day and night. The story of Atlantis comes to us from the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, who wrote about it over 2,000 years ago. He described a highly advanced, morally pure society that existed beyond the Pillars of Hercules, a naval superpower that ruled over much of Europe and Africa. But he also described its hubris, its moral decay, which led the gods to destroy it in a cataclysmic flood. Plato's writings are the only primary source for the legend, and for centuries it was considered a fictional cautionary tale, a philosophical metaphor for a fallen society. But what if Plato wasn't just telling a story? What if there was a real-world inspiration behind the legend? This is where the hunt for Atlantis truly begins. Over the years, countless locations have been proposed as the real Atlantis. Some researchers point to the island of Santorini, a volcanic island in Greece that was destroyed in a massive eruption around 1600 BC. The cataclysmic event and subsequent tsunami could have been the basis for the tale of a city destroyed in a single day and night. Others point to the Eye of the Sahara, a massive, circular geological formation in Mauritania, which perfectly matches Plato's description of Atlantis's concentric rings of land and water, now long dried out. Then there's the Bimini Road off the coast of the Bahamas, a straight line of massive, flat stones that some claim is a submerged ancient road or wall, and others say is a natural phenomenon. These theories, while fascinating, bring us to a critical point. The myth of Atlantis serves as a powerful symbol, not of a single place, but of our collective amnesia about a time when advanced, coastal civilizations were lost to catastrophic natural events. Each of these real-world sites, from Santorini to the Eye of the Sahara, might just be a fragment of the collective memory that Plato wove into his philosophical narrative. Of course, the search for submerged worlds is not without its controversies and its less substantiated claims. We have to be careful to separate fact from speculation. For every Pavlo Petri, backed by extensive archaeological evidence and sonar mapping, there are countless other claims that rely more on wishful thinking than on hard science. We see sensational headlines about ancient alien bases or Atlantean crystal grids supposedly found in the depths. While these theories are certainly captivating, it's crucial to approach them with a healthy dose of skepticism. The real discoveries we've discussed, Yonaguni Dwarka, are powerful enough on their own without needing to be sensationalized. The beauty of these finds is not in the conspiracy, but in the evidence they offer us about our own ancestors. This leads us to a profound lesson. These submerged cities, whether real or mythical, teach us about our own vulnerability. They are silent archives of ancient cataclysms, of societies that flourished on the coast and then vanished. They are a powerful reminder that history isn't just about kingdoms rising and falling in battles. It's also about a constant and often violent negotiation with the planet itself. The stories of these cities force us to confront our own relationship with the environment, with climate change, and with the simple, unavoidable truth that our civilizations are not permanent. The real enigma of Atlantis isn't about a missing continent. It's about a missing chapter in our own story, one that is slowly being revealed, not by ancient texts, but by the relentless work of scientists and explorers, one archaeological site at a time. The legend asks us a question: what happens when a great civilization falls? The answer, it seems, is waiting for us, in the cold, silent depths below. Our journey through the submerged worlds of our past has brought us to the edge of what we know, but the truth is, we've only just begun. The vast majority of our planet's ocean floor remains unexplored. Scientists estimate that less than 5% of the seabed has been properly mapped, leaving an expanse of untold secrets and countless undiscovered cities still waiting in the deep. This isn't the end of our story. It's the prologue to a new era of discovery. Today, new technologies and expeditions are on the horizon. We're seeing projects that use advanced AI to analyze vast amounts of sonar data, identifying unnatural patterns and grid-like structures that a human eye might miss. Entire fleets of autonomous underwater vehicles are being developed to map massive sections of the ocean floor, systematically searching for signs of forgotten civilizations. Promising new areas of research include the lost coastlines of the Pacific, the deep waters of the Black Sea, and even the shallow but still unexplored shelves of the Arctic. What new chapters of human history are waiting to be written beneath these waves? The answers are out there, and we are finally developing the tools to find them. But with this new power to explore comes a profound responsibility. These aren't just historical curiosities or treasure troves. They are invaluable cultural heritage sites. They belong to all of humanity, and they deserve our protection. As we push deeper and discover more, we must confront the critical questions of conservation and ethics. How do we explore these sites without damaging them? Who owns the artifacts we discover? How can we ensure that these silent archives of our past are preserved for future generations, rather than disturbed or looted? The work of underwater archaeologists and marine conservationists has never been more important. They are the guardians of these submerged worlds, working tirelessly to document, protect, and understand them. They remind us that our goal is not just to find these places, but to learn from them, to safeguard their stories, and to ensure that the legacy of a forgotten civilization doesn't become the casualty of a new one. So where does that leave us? The myth of Atlantis, the reality of Yonaguni, the lessons of Pavlo Petri, these stories force us to look at our own world in a new light. They are powerful reminders of humanity's past and a stark warning for our future. They teach us about the cyclical nature of civilization, about the fragility of our greatest achievements, and about our own vulnerability to environmental shifts. The ocean holds more than just water. It holds our forgotten past. So as you watch the waves from the shore, remember the astonishing worlds that lie just beneath the surface. The next great discovery might not be in a distant galaxy, but in the dark, silent depths of our own backyard. The greatest adventure is not about finding what's lost, but about understanding what it tells us about ourselves.